Driving in the winter takes planning, whether you're putting on chains or you're keeping your ice scraper handy. It can be a lot. And if you're driving an EV, you have even more to worry about, because as those temperatures drop, so does your range. And your charging times, well, those actually go up. And that's where we come in. I'm Allison from Edmunds, where we've driven and tested hundreds of EVs, even in the dead of winter. And together with the used car experts at CarMax, we're here to provide tips and tricks so that you know what to expect and you can maximize your EV's range, even in cold weather. Let's talk about why EVs can struggle in the cold. There are two big factors at play here, and the first is basic chemistry. See, the batteries that power your EV rely on a chemical reaction inside of them to release energy and charge them back up. As the temperature drops, this chemical reaction slows down too. According to a Consumer Reports study, EVs lost an average of 25% of their range driving around on days below 20 degrees, just due to the temperature when compared to a mild day. Also, when your battery is slow and cold, it doesn't accept charge easily. So when you plug it in, it can take an additional 30 to 40 minutes of charge time just to bring the battery up to temp before you're even adding to your range. The other big factor is you. Yes, you. You don't like to be cold either, right? Well, an EV needs to spend energy to make heat. And if it's using that energy from the battery to do things like warm your little toesies instead of moving the car, your range is gonna go down. In a AAA study, it was estimated that warming your cabin when temperatures drop to 20 degrees Fahrenheit can reduce your range up to a whopping 41%. So how do you get through winter in an EV? Well, we've got the tips you need. Hey, if Norway, you know that country up in the Arctic Circle where EVs make up over 90% of new car sales? If they can pull it off, so can you. Now let's talk about what we can do to maximize your EV range in cold weather. Most EV owners, they charge at home. That's going to be your first line of defense against the colds. And ideally, if you've got the space in your garage, you're going to want to park your EV there. It'll keep it a lot warmer than outside. And remember, just like you, your EV batteries also operate best in warmer temperatures. Now, this next tip is going to be your new winter mantra. Always be charging. Now, the big reason you always want to keep your car plugged in, other than topping off your range, is due to something called preconditioning, which is basically a fancy way of saying heating or cooling your car before use. It's a trick you can pull off without setting a reminder on your phone. In fact, many EVs allow you to program a departure time and even how warm you want the cabin, so you can get pre-toasty while you brush your teeth in the morning. And in fact, some even allow you an app that connects to your phone that'll do this all for you. You should also precondition your battery if you have to plug into a public charging station when you're out and about. That simply means warming your battery up so it's ready to charge. And remember, a cold battery is just as bad as taking in energy as it is putting out energy. And for best results, make sure that you put your destination in at least 30 minutes before arrival. That way your battery will be at optimal temperature to accept the charge and you'll spend less time plugged in. Preconditioning is just as important for leaving the house as well. Look, if you can program your departure, if you can precondition your cabin to make it warm and toasty, you can also precondition the battery to bring it to its ideal operating temperature. And remember, keep it plugged in so it'll draw power from your house and not from your battery. And once your battery is humming along and in its happy place, you get the maximum available range. Here are some more tips to use less energy. Don't rely too much on those air vents. It's way more efficient to keep yourself warm with a heated seat and steering wheel if your car's equipped with them. Now, the car you pick can make a huge difference too. Not every EV is equipped for cold weather. Just like your family that moved to Florida probably doesn't have base layers and down coats, if you live somewhere cold, you're gonna need an EV that's also properly equipped for the cold. And that means a heat pump. A heat pump is a more efficient way to heat up or cool down a car than an old-fashioned electric heater or AC compressor. That's why they're showing up in more and more electric cars like Teslas or newer Hyundai or Kia EVs. On a really cold day, a heat pump can make the difference between losing 15% of your total range or half your total range. And of course, do what you always do to drive efficiently. That includes things like making sure that your tires are at the right pressure. And if you don't know where to find that, check the inside of the door. Also, don't drive aggressively. And lastly, if you can, keep your speeds below 70 miles per hour because your EV will use more energy, drive you fast. And if you're still not ready for a fully electric vehicle, check out a plug-in hybrid. It still allows you to plug in at home and drive on electricity when the weather's nice. And when it gets cold, you can rely on the gas motor to keep you on the road just like a regular hybrid. So, are you feeling ready for ski season? Don't worry, you'll make it up that mountain just fine. And if you want to learn more about electric vehicles, make sure you check out the CarMax EV Hub linked below. And if you have any other clever tips, make sure you drop them in the comments, and we'll see you next time.